Hi folks, meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana Weather. Quick severe weather update for you for tomorrow. Things are looking pretty rough around the area here, so just to give you a little update of what's going on. Moderate risk for severe weather has been issued for a large portion of the area now. You can see really that it includes the most of Southern Indiana, all except for just a small, tiny tip, which is an enhanced risk. But really we're all under the gun for severe weather tomorrow. Probability-wise, you can see the 45% kind of purple shades here is what that moderate risk, 30% being the enhanced risk, 15% then being slight risk, 5% the marginal. As I go back here, you can kind of see what those categories and what the probabilities correlate to. Also notice that there's a hatched area around this. Hatched area really covers the entire area tomorrow. Anytime that they hatch something, what they're saying is there is the potential for winds in excess of 75 miles per hour, hail up to or larger than 2 inches in diameter, or strong tornadoes stronger than EF2 on the Fujita scale. So obviously whenever you got the hatch going on, not a pretty thing. So now I've gotten a couple of questions on Facebook on some of the interactions. Could it be up to a high risk for tomorrow? That's possible, but you understand high risks are very rare. Moderate is probably where it's going to end up staying at tomorrow. But it wouldn't surprise me. We'll just have to end up seeing. Either way, though, whether it stays moderate or whether it goes to high risk, tomorrow is going to be a weather-aware day. So, folks, right now you need to know exactly what you're going to have plans in place for tomorrow afternoon and evening. Timing-wise on this, it looks like multiple rounds of severe weather might come through tomorrow. It's hard to pinpoint the exact time. Anywhere from the afternoon into the early overnight hours could be in play here. And really all threats could be in play here. We could be looking at winds in excess of 75 miles per hour. The dreaded D word, the derecho, is a possibility tomorrow. I'm not going to try to hype things up. And, this is not, we don't use that word 10 days out, but the day before the event, we understand there is a possibility. I'll mention that. Of course, the derecho, if you're not familiar with that word, a derecho is a long-lived, widespread, damaging wind event that can go on for hours and hours and hours, even self-sustain itself during the overnight hours. The National Weather Service in Louisville is comparing this event tomorrow to the potential for the derecho that we saw in July of 2004, and that derecho event produced winds in some places around the area over 100 miles per hour. Obviously, that's going to be a very bad situation if that evolves tomorrow, something that we're just going to have to keep an eye on and see. It's not a guarantee that it's going to come together, but I want to give you guys the heads up that it is certainly possible. Again, all modes of severe weather, extremely damaging winds from Boeing line segments moving through. Even some strong tornadoes could be possible with this. Flooding, of course, is going to be a big concern because of all the rain that we have seen around the area as well. Large hail could also be possible. So really all modes of severe weather could be possible. Just make sure you keep it tuned right here for the latest. Let me just give you really quickly, as we wind down the video here, an idea of what we can expect tomorrow. Let me show you a couple of future radar views. Here's the WRF ARW. As you go throughout your evening, anything that pops tonight would be pretty isolated. It's possible we get a couple of storms fire, but it's not a big risk. By tomorrow, though, we've got what looks like a complex of storms that's coming here from from the northwest, which is going to be going on tonight. That evolves and rolls through the area tomorrow. And as I continue to put this into motion, you notice that it looks like southeast Indiana tomorrow could be getting some potentially rough weather early on there. That is a possibility. That's round one. Round two then forms in the afternoon, and by the time you hit the later in the afternoon hours, early evening hours, you got what could be a very strong line impacting southward through most of the state. And then behind that, you've got another line that could be forming and potentially rolling through during the early overnight hours there as well. So if the WRF ARW is right, possibility there could exist for 3 rounds of severe weather. Now let's look at the WRF NMM. It's another high-res model. Again, it starts to show a little bit more thunderstorm activity today than what we have seen yet, but we'll see whether that fires or not. But here's the main thing. There's those storms rolling through tomorrow during the morning hours, and you notice by the time noon, 1 o'clock rolls around tomorrow afternoon, we've got what could be a very damaging wind situation. Again, southeast Indiana under the gun with that. As the afternoon moves on, you get another situation here starting to form. This could be the beginnings of the derecho, or it might not. We'll have to keep an eye on that, but you see damaging winds moving through a good chunk of the area there as well. And then behind that, we get another round that forms. It also forms the third round, but by the time it gets here, it's during the overnight hours, and so it's nothing to be worried about there at that point. So again, two models, two different ideas on what you could take. Neither one of these are solid in fact yet. Folks, we're just going to have to see what happens tomorrow, but what we do know, moderate risk for severe weather. It is a pretty strong risk day, so have your weather aware, your severe weather action plans in place for tomorrow. And of course, keep it tuned here to Southern Indiana Weather on Facebook as I keep you up to date through things with frequent updates throughout the day. And of course, keep it tuned to southernindianaweather.com for updates on this as well. It's going to be a hot one tomorrow, plenty of instability around, plenty of wind energy. Folks, the parameters are all in place for some strong to severe storms. They will be possible tomorrow, so just keep it tuned right here for future updates. I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite. Keep it tuned here, folks, as we're under the gun tomorrow, and we'll provide you with coverage to keep you safe. Stay tuned.